Doozer shop. I'm very excited. We've got an excellent addition here. Got a new tool. Let me take a handheld and start this party off. Alright, so last week I machined a handle for the Rockford planer. That's the new handle, folks. That's the step over adjustment, and the old handle, yeah, the old handle was messed up. Somebody tried welding it. Nasty, yucky. So I don't know if you can pick this up. So it's a 5/8 bore with a 1/8 keyway. And that's what this was on the Bridgeport. Yeah. So I had to thin the hub, and you saw that. I did that on the SIP jig bore. And it kind of looks appropriate because you got a handle here on the side head. The down feed has a handle just like that too. So ball crank handle, looks good, looks proper. Very happy that I got that figured out. Thanks to subscriber Mark in Grand Island, collaborating on that. Got it figured out. Got it done. All right, new business. The Giddings & Lewis horizontal boring mill, 25T. I did not get a boring facing head with this machine. But guess what? I believe I have acquired one. I don't think it's a Giddings & Lewis. Like I said, it's not a Giddings & Lewis. I'm not sure what brand it is. But, yeah, I paid a little over $300 for this. Auction website, CLT Auctions. Drove up to Concord, North Carolina to retrieve it. Anyways, it was in a lot with some lathe face plates and other stuff. So let me give you the specs. It's 20 inches in diameter. The boring bar holder right there is it's like a 2-inch bar. I'm not sure what brand it is, but so there's a ruler scale on it. So there's a ruler scale, and there's the 0 with a little vernier. So the scale, and I'm not going to go in because this camera can't pick up the focus. It's in inches, so it's like 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, whatever. That's exactly 2 inches in the boring bar holder. And you see, you can loosen this in the range. You slide this for the approximate size hole you want, and then let me kind of zoom you in. So this is a dovetail. All right, yeah. So this whole piece. So there's the dovetail part, and this all comes out and offsets, and there's the gib side. And how this works, it's not a lead screw. It's in there. I know you can't see. It's actually a half nut. It's actually probably like a quarter nut, but I believe it goes most of the length of the insert there, the offsetable part of the dovetail. So on how this works, okay, let me back up. So there's some gears on there. All right. So this gear and this gear are the same. They move the same. I don't know why there's two gears on here. I don't know what brand this comes from. I have no idea. But this gear bolts on, and you can take it off. And so anyway, so let me try and do this on camera. This is a flywheel barring tool. Yeah. No, I can't do this one-handed. Yeah. So yeah, see how it moves? So it does move. So this and this are the same. They move together. And there's a bevel gear, a crown gear, whatever you call it. Let me back up. Okay. So this spins. That turns the crown gear, the crown wheel, spur gear. And this has got spur teeth cut in a lead screw. I don't know. It looks kind of like... No. Yes? No? Well, something... Ooh. So that looks like a bronze half nut. And there's... So that's an axle shaft of some sort. That's an axle shaft that goes on there. And this... Okay, so that's on there. And I think that's like a lead screw of some kind that moves the offsetting carriage part of the head. Not sure. But I think the only way to offset the boring part of the dovetail is to turn this. Either, you know, these are the same, they're bolted together. Moves that mechanism, moves that, and travels the whole thing in and out. I need to clean it first. I don't want to go try to jack this thing in and out. I suppose I could. I need to oil it first. But anyways, okay. So, again, 20 inches in diameter. It's a 4-inch hole. So this could have come off a 4-inch horizontal boring mill. So it's got 4 bolts. So these to me look like a metric pitch. Might not show up on camera, but doesn't look like fine thread, doesn't look like coarse thread, looks metric. So from across is 5.5 inches. So this is a taper. I think this is very similar to an A8 lathe chuck mounting taper. A8. So D series is the cam lock, A has the bolt on. This is a very, short taper. I think this is an A8 taper. Yeah. 5.5 across the holes. Now I'll walk around. I'll show you guys. I gotta eventually. All right. So the Giddings and Lewis. All right. It's 4 inches between the bolts, and it's got this key, drive key. So a shell mill or a face mill would bolt to here. So I think I need to make an adapter that goes onto here. And I think when you mount a shell mill or a face mill on here incidentally, it gets keyed, but you still have to indicate it because it slides on the key. So you put the bolts in, you snug them, and then you tap it for center. And I think that's how that works. So with the Giddings and Lewis boring / facing head, a gear, I don't know if a gear bolts, I think a gear bolts onto here. And that the facing controls are in the head. There's a little lever and a directional thing. But from the boring mill that this new head is from, I think it's like a little crank lever. You kind of walk back over there. So some mills, and I think the Kearns mills had this. They had a crank on a control crank, like like a crank on the mill that you turn to offset the head or whatever. So if you spin the head and you hold this stationary, it will feed and it will face. Or you can just turn it, adjust the offset, and just don't touch it and spin it, and it does boring. But if you hold this, it does facing. So it's for adjusting the offset, and if you hold it, it'll face. Yeah. I don't know what this is as far as brand goes. Let me kind of back you up. So I believe this gear is 10 pitch, 14.5 degree pressure angle. I don't know what that is. It looks like 8 pitch. But this comes off, and it shortens it up considerably for making my adapter right. So I'd make the adapter, bolt it to the Giddings Lewis, and then I'd bolt this to the adapter. So I need a chunk of, you know, whatever. I think, hold on, let me. One-handed tape measuring. It's like 7 inches. The taper part. So I'll have to look up what an A8 is, but it's about 7 inches across. So I need at least a 7 or whatever inch piece of round bar stock to make this up. Okay, so it's pretty cool. I got it kind of straddling the pallet jack. It's cast with some hollows in it. This thing's about 200 pounds. I will get the Dillon load cell and I will weigh it. But I believe it is every bit of 200 pounds. I offloaded it out of the back of the truck. Oops, sorry. With the my New Holland tractor. I kind of straddle it on the pallet jack here. But like I say, that's 2-inch, 20-inch overall bore. Not bore, just the size of it. The inside bore is 4-inch, or it could be 100 millimeters. I got to measure it more closely. But there you go. Perfect. So I'm going to take it apart a little bit. I'm going to take the bolts out, take the adapter off. And I'm going to hang it over the parts washer tank and just clean it up before I start moving it to see. And I hope it's not too heavy, you know, for the Giddings and Lewis. It's almost 6 inches, 5.5. But yeah, so I thought maybe there's a grease fitting there and there. I thought maybe there was a hex in there or a square that you could turn it manually, and I don't believe there is. I've been picking dirt out. I gotta see on this side. I doubt it. And that's just a hanger hole for an eye bolt. There's your sliding piece. I don't know. I doubt it though. So these are kind of like cotters to grab the bar instead of leaving a set screw mark. They're like half moon cotters. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, man. Good looking setup for a bit over $300. So the weight of this thing and the diameter, let me go this way to the Giddings Lewis. I know you guys love handheld. So I was talking to my subscriber Mark in Grand Island. So if I put this on here and I lower this all the way, so 10 inches from there, that's the radius. If you're like here, will it hit the the feed rods when this headstock, I guess you call it, is all the way down? And how close can you bore to the surface of the table? You know what I mean? So before the rotating boring head hits the feed rods, how low can I get to the table without shimming up the workpiece? So I don't know. So also, does anybody with a Giddings and Lewis 25T, do they know, is there a ball bearing in there to take the weight of my boring head? Because I don't want it to use a heavy thing on this if it's bronze plain bearing. So let me know. Yeah, let me know. So from Doozer shop, I just wanted to show you guys the new acquisition. The brand yet to be determined 20-inch boring and facing head. And you guys know, give me a comment. There's some writing on there, and I don't know. I think this is a Kearns, but I don't know. The shape of that, you know, there you go. Is that a Kearns? What is that? Is this made in the Czech Republic? Is this Polish? What is this? Let me know. Thank you. Till next time, this is Doozer Shop.